Sandy. In a short while, this place, as we said, will be jumping. And maybe after today, there will be a brand new World Series hero. But going back over the first 6 games, I think we'll have to agree, everybody, that the heroes have been pretty standard.
Yes, they have, Jim. I think 4 men have dominated the series, and it's been the 2 big pitchers today, Lonborg and Gibson. But other than that, Lou Brock for the Cardinals and Carl Yastrzemski for Boston have been the dominant factors in the series. Lou Brock has been just probably the biggest offensive threat you could be. In yesterday's ball game, he drove in the first run, scored the second run, hit a home run late. So like I said, he has just been a complete offensive threat. He's the leading hitter in the series, I think, and just you can't say enough about the job Brock has done. But as you say, when it comes down to a 7th game, the hero of today's game could very well be the hero of the series, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one of these 2, Brock or Yastrzemski or even a Lonborg or a Gibson. I think a lot depends on what happens during the game today. For Boston, I guess yesterday everybody helped a little bit, but Boston seems like they go when Yastrzemski hits. The ball games he's hit and hit hard and driven in runs, they've won. The ball games where he either hasn't hit or his hits haven't seemed like they meant too much, they've gotten beat in those ball games. You can't say enough for Yastrzemski. You can't say enough for either of these 2 ball clubs, I guess. Yastrzemski's been great on defense. Yesterday, he made a fine play on a ball that McCarver hit in what could have been a very big inning for the Cardinals. McCarver hit that ball. Eventually, the Cardinals loaded the bases. If it hadn't been for that catch, they might have gotten a few runs there, or you never know. That 1 out is a big out. I've seen 5, 6 runs score after 2 are out, and you have to say that that's a big play also.
Sandy, you're a National Leaguer, so what Lou Brock has done and the pitching of Bob Gibson, I'm sure, have come as no surprise at all to you. And I'm not asking you about a surprise of the Boston Red Sox, but has there been anything surprising to you in the first 6 games of this World Series?
Well, I think there have been a few surprises in the series. To me, one of the biggest surprises is the inability of the Cardinals to use that left field fence at all. They have some fine right-hand hitters capable of pulling the ball, and I don't think, except for Javier, that one of them has hit the ball either on it or over it, where Boston has made pretty good use of it, especially yesterday. That comes as a surprise to me because I thought the Cardinals would be probably more dangerous in this ballpark than they were in St. Louis, and they haven't proved to be.
Well, you said last week, gee, and that seems like a long time ago, a lot of excitement between here and last week, that Rico Petrocelli was a good pull hitter in a park like Boston's Fenway Park. So he hit a couple of home runs, but everybody's been waiting, and you're talking about the entire Cardinals, but for Orlando Cepeda to hit a ball off that wall or over that wall. And what's the consensus in Orlando? He's not having a good series.
No, he's not. For a hitter as good as Orlando Cepeda is, he's not having a good series at all. Yesterday in the ball game, a couple of times, I thought Cepeda was trying to pull the ball and trying to hit the ball to the wall. They're not pitching him, making the pitches for him to hit that way, and yet he's trying to do it, and I think the wall may have gotten to him a little bit.
Well, I want to talk about that wall, that green monster, as they call it. That's the first 6 games of the 1967 World Series. They're warming up right now, even now, Sandy, for the 7th game, and we've got to talk about that. And we will in a moment, as we'll return with more of World Series Report, but now, this message.
The only deciding factor might be whether or not Jim is strong enough. I know...
Let me interrupt right now. Jim Lonborg has said that he's a little concerned he's going with 2 days rest. You're a pitcher. Have you pitched with 2 days rest? I'm sure you have. And if so, what's the problem with only going with 2 days rest? The arm?
Well, it can be both. I think 2 days rest probably isn't enough for a pitcher. It depends on the individual pitcher. Sometimes it bothers you that day. Sometimes it may bother you in the next start after that game. But I think the weather here today, it being cool, it might help Lonborg possibly. Whether or not his arm is going to be strong, I think he's worried about it because he has done it twice before. He started with 2 days rest and didn't have good stuff. And I just wonder if he isn't worrying about it, and maybe that wouldn't be a problem because I think Jim is a capable pitcher, and I'm sure that both of them, Bob Gibson and Jim Lonborg, are going to go out there and battle each other. They were friends yesterday on the show, but I don't think they're going to smile at each other today once.
As the Red Sox take batting practice behind us right now, right out there is what they call the green monster, the big wall. Now, we talked about the Cardinals' inability to hit it, but what do you think about Bob Gibson? You asked him yesterday. Do you think that'll bother him today?
No, I don't. I think Gibson, as long as I have known him, is a right-handed pitcher who maintains the fact that he is going to pitch outside to right-hand hitters. He's got the good breaking ball. He's got the good fastball. He'll come inside occasionally to keep a hitter honest. You have to. But basically, he pitches outside. He keeps the ball away from right-hand hitters and usually away from left-hand hitters. I'm not sure that he would do that in this ballpark, because I think if you can make the left-hand hitters pull the ball, you might have a chance to keep it in the ballpark better. But Bob will not be bothered by the wall, I don't think. He, as I said, pitches outside and has a good fastball, so he's capable of making batters go the other way. And the right-hand hitters hitting the ball to right field, you don't get hurt here.
Now, of course, you're a left-hander, but did you pitch strictly outside as low as you said Gibson did?
Well, I would try in a ballpark like this to keep the ball away from most hitters. And you have to come in. You know, I'm not talking about knockdowns or things like that. There's been enough talk about that, but you've got to pitch inside. You've got to pitch up and in. Otherwise, just pitching away isn't going to get anybody out.
All right, now, let's say that Jim Lonborg is perfect. He's all right, 3 days rest, whatever it is. He'll pitch well today. He's a right-hander in this ballpark, and the Cardinals have not yet hit that wall. How will he work? Is he a low and outside pitcher?
Well, Jim's a low ball pitcher, basically. He's got a good sinker and good breaking ball. Jim's pitched here all year. I don't think it'll change his pattern one bit because it's a World Series. I just look forward to the ball game, and just can't wait to see both of them pitch against each other. I wish they'd both had 3 days rest, and, you could call it one of those kind of ball games. I know Lonborg said his only wish yesterday was for 1 day of rain, but who knows?
And this, for the managers, Dick Williams and Red Chain, is not the time to make changes, right? They will not go to changes today,
I don't think there'll be very many changes in the lineup. I think everybody will be in the bullpen. There's no reason to save anybody for tomorrow. It's the last day of baseball, and not only the season, but the World Series, and I think you'll see everybody ready to go.
Is the biggest point, then, the fact, as we watch the game today, that Lonborg has had only 2 days of rest, and if he looks strong, then we got a whale of a ball game, right?
Well, I feel that this is the big key. He may have good stuff, and if he keeps it, if he's not tired, I can't say enough for either one of them.
Well, we're going to say one more thing for the last time this year as we'll return on World Series Report, but now, this message. Sandy, right behind you there, the Red Sox are warming up. This is it. I've been putting you on the spot all week, for a week. Predictions. What do you think today?
I wouldn't even attempt to make a prediction today, Jimmy. I wouldn't want to say that one of these two guys is a better pitcher than the other one. I just want to watch the ball game with everybody else, and I think both ball clubs deserve all the credit in the world for being here.
Well, we'll repeat again. It is a brisk day, which could help Lonborg, right?
I think so. I think they're both cold weather pitchers, but it could keep him stronger.
Right. Sandy Koufax, it's been a pleasure being with you. Jim Simpson from Boston's Fenway Park. Stay tuned for the final game of the 1967 World Series following station identification.
NBC Sports presents the 1967 World Series. The St. Louis Cardinals versus the Boston Red Sox. Brought to you by new Super King Size Salem to refresh your taste a few moments longer. By Chrysler Corporation, your host for today's game, Plymouth, and your local Plymouth dealer. By the Gillette Techmatic Razor, ask your face about it. And by your Phillips 66 dealer. At Phillips 66, it's performance that counts. NBC Sports, sponsors and baseball, welcome you to Fenway Park, the home of the Boston Red Sox, for the 7th game of the 1967 World Series. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Curt Gowdy of NBC Sports with Ken Coleman, the broadcaster of the Boston Red Sox. And I think the whole world knows that it's Bob Gibson today against Jim Lonborg. Our temperature here is a very cool 54 degrees in Boston as the World Championship of Baseball will be decided. Win or lose today, let's pay tribute to these two teams. The Cardinals, an easy winner in the National League, one of the best balanced clubs that league has had in years. The Red Sox, underdogs who even finished in the first division before the season started, have now fought the Cardinals till the 7th game. But we'll see what happens. And, of course, much has been read and written and said about Bob Gibson working with 3 days rest and Jim Lonborg with 2 days rest. Ken Coleman's broadcast the Red Sox all year, and Lonborg has pitched with 2 days before, hasn't he, Ken?
Yes, he has, Curt. He's done it on 2 occasions, and his record under those circumstances is 1 win and 1 loss. But as we pointed out yesterday, he is a sinker ball pitcher primarily, and consequently it may not hurt him as much as some people would think. And I think it also should be pointed out, Curt, that Bob Gibson is working with 3 days rest for the 2nd time in a row, and most of the year he's worked with 4. So maybe that part will balance it out.
Well, let's take one more look at this ballpark, Ken. This will be the final time in '67 the fans across the country will look at it.
Okay, as we look down the left field line, you see, again, the Green Monster, as we call it, 315 feet down into the corner in left field with scarcely any foul territory down there. And that wall was reached yesterday several times as the Red Sox hit a number of home runs up in there. Out into the center field bleachers, which are full up today, and swinging over toward right center. And as you see that bullpen off in the distance there, it was above that bullpen that Lou Brock had his tremendous home run here yesterday. As we mentioned yesterday, those bullpens were built in 1940 to help Ted Williams somewhat, although most of the time he didn't need that kind of help. So they are there right now. You can see they've added a little bit of home run territory. You hit one into that bullpen, and you're hitting it into the home run area. The pitchers are warming up now, and to tell you more on that situation, here is Curt Gowdy.
There's Bob Gibson, who is shooting for his 5th World Series victory in a row. 32 years old. He's already pitched 2 games in this series, allowed just 1 run, and he was a 13-game winner during the regular season, out 2 months with a broken leg. We talked to Bob Gibson before the game and asked him if he would pitch the same style game here today as he has in previous series.
I'm going to go out there with the idea of pitching the same way I did in the first 2 ball games. I hope that I'll be strong enough where I can have a good fastball, but I don't think that I'm going to try to pitch any differently than I did before.
Bob Gibson on the mound today, and there's Jim Lonborg, who is now working in his 4th clutch game in a row. He went the distance to beat the Twins a week ago Sunday to put the Red Sox in the World Series. He has allowed just 4 hits in 2 games against the Cardinals and allowed them just 1 run. And we asked Jim Lonborg before the game if he thought the Cardinals might try something different at the plate against him. Here's what he had to say.
I'm kind of wondering whether they're going to be swinging as much as they used to. I think that this is the way that I got them out in my 2 previous ball games, because they did swing so much at the first pitches. I didn't try to just lay it in there. Today, I'm hoping that maybe they'll wait around and maybe I can make some good pitches and get ahead of them and then work on them to get them out.
Well, there they are, a matchmaker's dream. Lonborg against Gibson, the Cardinals and the Red Sox for the World Championship. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups and the squads of both teams.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7th game of the 1967 World Series. Introducing the starting lineup for the 1967 National League champions, the St. Louis Cardinals, manager Red Sox. Batting first and playing left field, number 20, Lou Brock. Batting second and playing center field, number 21, Curt Flood. Batting third and playing right field, number 9, Roger Maris. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 30, Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 15, Tim McCarver. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 18, Mike Shannon. Batting seventh and playing second base, number 25, Julian Javier. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 27, Dal Maxville. Batting ninth, pitching for St. Louis, number 45, Bob Gibson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the coaches and the rest of the pennant-winning Cardinals.
And there's the batting order for the St. Louis Cardinals.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the 1967 American League champions, the Boston Red Sox. The manager of the Boston Red Sox, Dick Williams. Leading off and playing third base, number 1, Joe Foy. Batting second and playing second base, number 2, Mike Andrews. Batting third and playing left field, number 8, Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 40, Ken Harrelson. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, George Scott. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 7, Reggie Smith. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 6, Rico Petrocelli. Batting eighth and catching, number 18, Elston Howard. Batting ninth and pitching for Boston this afternoon, number 16, Jim Lonborg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a Red Sox star who contributed greatly to winning the American League Championship, but was injured late in the season. He's been in uniform throughout this series, Tony Conigliaro.
Nice hand for Conigliaro, who still has blurred vision, but the doctors say he will be all right. He cried in the clubhouse the day the Red Sox clinched the pennant because he thought he didn't contribute enough. He's only 22 years old and should be an outstanding big league star for years to come. Tony Conigliaro.
And now the coaches and the rest of the pennant-winning Red Sox.
There is the batting order for the Boston Red Sox.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Red Sox band, conducted by John Kiley, will accompany Andy Poloninos in our national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose lights and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, with the
7th game of the 1967 World Series being brought to you from Fenway Park in Boston as the St. Louis Cardinals meet the Boston Red Sox. Here are the umpires assigned to today's game. Johnny Stevens of the American League behind the plate. Al Barlick of the National League at first. Frank Umont of the American League at second. Augie Donatelli of the National League at third. Ed Runge of the American League will be working the left field line, and Paul Pryor of the National League the right field line. The honor of throwing out the first ball is to that fellow right there in the wheelchair. His name is Eddie Bambera from Pennsylvania, and over the years he's been one of the Red Sox most loyal fans. He was with them when they were down. Win or lose, we used to see him in spring training in Sarasota, Florida, Scottsdale, Arizona, and his wife, a lovely gal, used to bring him down in a car and wheel him out to the Red Sox practice sessions. So he has the honor today, one of the most loyal Red Sox fans the Red Sox have, who made the Johnson, Pennsylvania spring training in Boston, of handing the first ball out. The Red Sox are on the field. Jim Lonborg is walking in from the bullpen, and as he approaches the dugout, you'll probably hear a standing ovation for him. Here he is, Lonborg, 24 years old, of San Luis Obispo, California. Spent his usual night in the hotel room, trying to simulate road conditions. He won better on the road this year than he did at home. So he started checking into a hotel room in Boston to pretend he was on the road. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. He walked only one batter in the first two games. That was Curt Flood in the 7th inning of the first game. And I think on both Gibson and Lonborg, Ken, control has been their real secret.
They both have been right around the plate all of the time, Curt, and that's been the pattern with Jim all year. Of course, this year he's had, as usual, his fine sinking fastball, but he also has added a two-way fastball because sometimes during the course of the year when he has been up with it, it has been a rising type of fastball, which has helped him tremendously and is the reason probably that he led the American League in strikeouts this year.
Dick Sisler coaching at first for the Cardinals. Joe Schultz at third. And the leader in base hits in this series, you can see why he was one of two major leaguers to get 200 hits or better this year. Roberto Clemente had 209 hits. Lou Brock had 206. Brock's had 10 hits in the series. Yastrzemski's had 9. Brock's batting .400. This boy has been a one-man gang for the Cardinals. Joe Foy in shallow on him at third. Lonborg's first pitch is outside, ball one. Now you heard Lonborg say before the game that he thought the Cardinals might be taking more pitches against him today, especially first pitches. The Cardinals like to hit that first pitch. There's a fly ball. Yastrzemski chasing that one in the corner, and on the run, he's got it. One out, as Yastrzemski continues to play about the best left field anyone's ever seen in a World Series.
And you know, Curt, that's the second time that Brock has just missed getting on as a leadoff man in spite of all of the 10 hits that he has in leading the series. Harrelson robbed him the other day in St. Louis on the first time up.
Curt Flood hits a little pop into center field. Reggie Smith camped under it, and we have 2 down. Flood was batting .160. First 2 balls have been hit in the air. Lonborg got the cards out, but usually it's not a good omen for a sinker ball pitcher. If they have their sinker working, you usually are watching the batters pound the ball into the ground. The Cardinals have had 4 hits off Lonborg. This man has 2 of them. Roger Maris makes the start. Maris batting .348. 8 hits and 23 times. Has 6 runs batted in. Yastrzemski has 5. Ball 1, strike 1 to Maris. Cepeda on deck. 2 down, nobody on, top of the first inning. There's Cepeda. Playing Maris a shade toward right. Not much of a breeze today. to the box. Andrews cannot make a play. That ball just skidded under Lonborg's glove. It's a base hit for Maris. So he now has 3 hits off Lonborg, and that's his 9th hit in the series. He's had a fine World Series. Well, here's a fellow that the Cardinals are hoping can come out of it today. Orlando Cepeda, 3 hits and 24 times up. The leading RBI man this year in the National League, according to the first base coach, Dick Sisler, has been over-anxious. When he first came into Boston for the first 2 games, Cepeda was trying to hit the wall and was getting out in front of the ball too much. Sisler told him to wait today. Wait until the last split second to swing. And think of going to right field more. Let's see how he does. A ball to him. Well, it's hard to tell, but Lonborg doesn't seem to be throwing as hard as he did in the first 2 games. But if his stuff is moving, that's what counts. Ball 2-0 to Orlando Cepeda. And you see Lonborg's been trying to pitch him inside, jamming. Tim McCarver on deck.
He also is going to be concerned today with a blister on his right thumb, which has bothered him periodically over the last month. They do everything they can, but with the 2 days rest, it might bother him just a bit.
The 2-0 delivery. Bounding ball to second baseman Andrews. He'll make the play to first, but the Cardinals will retire to the bottom of the first. No runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, 1 man left. The middle of the first inning to score. The Cardinals nothing, the Red Sox coming to bat. The ace of the Cardinals staff, Bob Gibson, trying to become the 3rd National League pitcher in World Series history to win 5 series games. He'll be facing Joe Foy, Mike Andrews, and Carl Yastrzemski. Foy has 2 hits and 12 times up. Ball 1 to him. Mordecai, 3-fingered Brown, won 5 World Series games for the Cubs. Christy Mathewson won 5 for the Giants. Foul back on a good fastball. 1-1 to Foy. Bobby Dorr coaching at first, Eddie Popowski at third. Ball 2, 2-1. Gibson walked only 1 man in 2 games. The 2-1 delivery. 3-1 now. Carl Yastrzemski was telling us a surprising thing to him about Gibson. They knew he threw hard. They knew he had great stuff. But Yastrzemski, I didn't realize the control he had. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Mike Andrews coming up, batting .400 in the series, 4 hits and 10 times. We have no score. The Red Sox have Foy at first, nobody out. The bunt is on. Cepeda to Javier covering at first. Sacrifice. Andrews is the best bunter on the Red Sox ball club. And there's Foy now in scoring position. Mike Andrews led the American League in sacrifice bunts this season with 19. Carl Yastrzemski getting another standing ovation. Yastrzemski batting .409 in the series. 9 hits and 22 up. 3 homers, 5 RBI. Been fantastic in the field. Fastball at inside corner for a strike. New England's Prince Valiant. Boy, he's had a year they'll never forget around here, no matter what he does in the future. There's a throw to Maxwell, who bluffed over, then didn't go over to cover. Sometimes they'll put that count on. The catcher will give the sign, they'll count, and that pitcher will whirl, throw to second. We had it in the 48 series. Bob Feller wheeled through to Boudreau. A ball, 1-1. Yastrzemski and his wife are going to get lost after this World Series. They're going to Puerto Rico. He's been living in a motel here in Boston so he can get some rest. They have 22 relatives staying with him. A little pop-up to Maxville as Gibson hit Yastrzemski right on the fist. Yastrzemski pops up. 2 down. And Ken Harrelson, the batter. Both the Cardinals and the Red Sox say the tiring thing about the World Series, the ticket problems, the phone calls, and the relatives. Not the ball games. This 1967 World Series telecast comes to you from Fenway Park in Boston, live in color, exclusively on NBC. 2 down, Foy at second. Fastball through for a strike to Harrelson. As we commented yesterday, he's much closer to the plate than when he first joined the Red Sox. They're all pitching him way outside on that outside corner. So he's moved in. Strike 2 to Ken Harrelson. Bob Gibson is firing hard. Marvelous competitor, Gibson. No balls, 2 strikes to Harrelson. Fastball through for strike 3. In the last of the first inning, no runs for the Red Sox. No hits, there were no errors. 1 man left. At the end of the first inning, it's the Cardinals nothing and the Red Sox nothing. We're going to the second inning at Fenway Park. Jim McCarver, Mike Shannon, and Julio Javier coming up against Jim Lonborg. We have something rather unique today. There have been only one previous 7-game World Series in which the 2 7th-game starters came into that 7th game with records of 2-0 in the series. A high pop to the infield. Petrocelli will handle this one. 1 out. McCarver, Cepeda just can't fight themselves out of the slump. That's McCarver's been up 20 times now, 2 hits. Mike Shannon, the batter. Shannon hitting .250, 5 hits and 20 times. He's had 1 home run in the series. 1925. We had a duplication of today's setup. That's a strike. Walter Johnson of Washington, Vic Aldridge of Pittsburgh, each with 2 complete game victories, were the 7th game starters at Pittsburgh. Going after the slider. Shannon likes the out-of-doors, hunting and fishing. He went fishing that time. No balls, 2 strikes. That 7th game back in 25, Aldridge was knocked out in the first inning. The Pirates went on to win. Walter Johnson pitched a complete game with a loser. Struck him out. First strikeout for Lonborg. 2 down, nobody on, and Javier coming up.
One thing about Lonborg, you can't really figure him. There's no pattern to his pitching. When he's going well with a certain pitch, he's liable to stick to it. And as Curt pointed out, he just came in with that hard slider to the Shannon, and he kept with it. And if he thinks it's going, he's liable to keep with it indefinitely until he figures he has to go to something else. This is what he did his last time out. He was with the fastball till the 4th inning, and then went to breaking pitches when they started to get to it. Not all the time, but most of the time he'll stick with whatever is going best.
2 down, nobody on. Javier fouls it back out of play. Javier's been a real ball player for the Cardinals in this series. He's hitting .333. Played brilliantly at second base. He's had a lot of plays going to his right. Some of the old-timers say they never saw a second baseman go better to his right than Javier has. Seems like he's been living in back of that second base. There's a line shot to left, base hit. Yastrzemski back into Petroselli. Base hit number 2 for the Cards. And Del Maxville is the batter. Maxville batting 133 in the series, 2 hits and 15 times. Two outs, Javier, fast man at first. The strike. Maxville can go to right field, getting behind the runner. The outfield plays him straight away. Pitch out. Howard thought they may have something on. Now it's ball 1, strike 1 to Del Maxville, who lives in Granite City, Illinois. He went to Washington University in St. Louis, where he got a degree in electrical engineering. Throw to first, getting back Javier. Once again, Lonborg drives him back. One ball, 1 strike. Strike 2, that was a slider. Just nicked that outside corner. Lonborg, in his first 2 years with the Red Sox, always had the good sinker. He had problems keeping the ball down. He didn't have a slider. He worked on that slider in the spring, and sometimes that extra pitch take a fellow from a 500 pitcher and make him into a great one. That's what happened to Lonborg. Plus maturity and confidence. Two down, Javier in first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Del Maxville. Oh, not by much. 2-2. There goes Javier. It's ball 3. Howard's throw is out. Mike Andrews covers and puts the tag on him.
Here it comes again, and Howard had to throw from out of position. The throw going down, and as you see in stop action, out at second base. And so the Cardinals are out in the second. After 1.5, it's 0-0.
All aboard for St. Louis, Newark, Tampa, Houston, Los Angeles, and soon Columbus.
George Scott, leading off for the Red Sox in the last of the second, takes ball 1. Scott batting .227. Citizens of Greenville, Mississippi are making plans for a George Scott Day to be announced later. Ball 2. Gibson walked Foy to start the first. Now he's behind Scott 2-0 in the last of the second. That's a strike. Gibson looks very quick today. The 2-1 pitch. Plays that one by him, 2-2. I'd say, Ken, that he looks quicker than he did in the second game and about the same that he did in the first game here in Boston.
Yes, and he really challenges, and he's got that nice, easy motion that's so hard to pick up.
Strike 3. There was a slider by Bob Gibson. That's his second strikeout. Reggie Smith will be up. This game authorized under television rights granted by the Commissioner of Baseball solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner is prohibited. Reggie Smith, batting .286. Strike one to him. Smith's hit 2 homers in the series and has 3 RBIs. He's a switch hitter. Petroselli on deck. Foul ball and a check swing. It's 0-2 to Reggie Smith. For the last half of the second, no score. Bounding ball to Javier. Big shoulder high hop and the toss over, and they're 2 down. Here's the vitamin kid, Rico Petroselli. Took some vitamin B12 before yesterday's game and hit 2 home runs. Rico batting .176 in the series. Ball 1 to him.
Curt, before the game yesterday, there was a young boy outside the park in a wheelchair. Rico introduced himself and said, "I'm Rico Petroselli. I'm going to try to hit one out for you today."
Strike. He doubled his promise.
Yeah, and I asked him about it today, and he said, well, I was lucky. He said, I was hoping I'd be able to do it for the youngster, and very happy that I was able to.
Strike 2. Bob Gibson's a strikeout pitcher.
Rico had real trouble with him the first time they met here in Boston. In fact, he was lifted for a pinch hitter, which is a rare thing for Petroselli after striking out 3 times.
A 1-2 delivery. Foul back. Next strikeout Bob Gibson gets will be number 50 for him in the World Series. So far, he's pitched 46 2/3 innings. He's had better than a strikeout an inning in World Series competition. There it is, number 50 in 47 innings. That's real pitching in the World Series. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox at the end of the second inning. It's the Cardinals 0 and the Red Sox 0. This is Curt Gowdy with Ken Coleman. We're in the 3rd inning. Maxville was left at the plate, but Javier was thrown out trying to steal. A ball to him, delivered by Jim Lonborg. Foul ball. Uh-oh. Hockey Donatelli of the National League going for that one. He better stick to umpiring. Now there's something out on the field. Someone's up on that left field wall again. We're all set. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 3rd. A high fly to deep center. Reggie Smith back. That ball is off the wall. Maxville will get 3 on this. Coming into 3rd and has a stand-up triple. He stings one now and then for you.
Reggie Smith going right back up against the fence, hoping for a shot at it, but not quite able to reach it. The ball bounding back into Ken Harrelson, and on 3rd base with the leadoff triple is Maxville in the 3rd inning.
And an excellent hitting pitcher up now, Bob Gibson, who's a good all-around athlete. He can run, field his position, pitch, and help himself at the plate. The Red Sox have the infield in. Strike call. In the regular season, most clubs wouldn't bring the infield in at this stage of the game because you get a lot of big innings in this ballpark. But they're in right now. Ball 1, strike 1 to Bob Gibson. Now Maxville at 3rd. Nobody out. No score. 2-1 to him. One. Here's the 2-2 delivery. There's a line drive to Boyd. Boyd had to put that ball was into the left field corner for a double. 1 out. Lou Brock up at the top of the order. Brock flied to left into the corner on a running grab by Yastrzemski in the first inning. He's spanked the ball all over, to right center, to left. Infield in, 1 out, 0-0. A ball to him. Against Gary Bell in the last 2 innings yesterday, the Cardinals hit some shots. Line drives, long drives to the outfield. But they were caught. Ball 2. A lot of smoke coming up in back of the center field fence. Looks like a fire out there. See it? 2 balls, no strikes. Maxwell on third, 1 out. Brock looking down for a sign. Curt Flood's on deck. The 2-0 delivery. Fouled into the seats and back of third. 2-1 to Lou Brock. Broke his bat. There's Maxwell at third. He led off this inning with a triple. Gibson lined out hard to third. Any little blooper by Brock will drop with the infield drawn in and the outfield deep. He's got acres of room to dump one into that outfield. The 2-1 pitch. Went for a high fastball. 2-2. That was the hardest pitch Lonborg's thrown in the game. He had something extra on that one. Two and two. Fouls it away. Lou Brock will be a leading candidate for one of the leading candidates for outstanding star of the series, along with Yastrzemski, Gibson, and Lonborg. The 2-2 pitch. Went for a high one and popped it up. Petroselli's out there in back of second. Maxwell holds at third. Brock swung at a bad pitch up around his eyes and popped it up. Oh, it's 2 down now. And the batter is Curt Flood, who flied out to center field in the first inning. Brock walked only 24 times during the regular season. He likes to swing up there. He'll go for bad pitches. Flood being played straight away. Ball 1. Curt Flood. Roger Maris on deck. Maxwell at third, 2 down. There's a drive to center, base hit, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Curt Flood's on first. Well, I wonder if it'll be an omen today. The team that has scored first has won every game in this series. The Red Sox scored first yesterday, but the Cardinals came back to take the lead, and the Red Sox rallied to finally win it. Ground ball by Scott into right field. Flood will come on to third. Maris is on first, and the Cardinals have runners on first and third. Their third hit this inning off Lonborg. And Roger Maris now has 10 hits in the series. He may not be the home run hitter he used to be, but he's still a very competent major league ball player. Orlando Cepeda grounded out his first time. We're getting some action now in the Red Sox bullpen. Jose Santiago is starting to warm up. 2 out, runners on first and third. Cardinals ahead 1-0. They've had 5 hits so far. A ball to Cepeda. That's more hits than they got in the first combined 2 games against Lonborg. Santiago warming up. A 1-0 pitch. Line shot foul into the left field seats. 1-1. Now, as we remarked in the first inning, Lonborg is not as quick today as he's been earlier. Pitching on just 2 days rest. The strain of that mad scramble in the American League. One delivery. He broke the slider over for strike 2. 1-2.
During the course of this season, Curt, Jim has lost almost 25 pounds.
He didn't do a thing since he started Monday. He didn't run in the outfield. He wanted to conserve his energy all he could. A 1-2 pitch. 2-2 to Cepeda. Cardinals are leading 1-0. They have Curt Flood at third base, Roger Maris at first. They're 2 down. Jim shaking a sign off. Now he says okay. The 2-2 pitch. And that was into the dirt and skips up on the screen. Curt Flood is scoring. Roger Maris is to second base. The Cardinals lead now 2-0. That's a wild pitch charged against Lonborg. That one hit the dirt and bounded so high it came up on the screen right below our NBC telecasting booth. Count has gone 3-2 to Cepeda. It's a ground ball. Nearly hit the runner. Petroselli throws him out. And that's all for the Cardinals in the top of the third. They had 2 runs, 3 hits. There were no errors. 1 man left. In the middle of the third, it's the Cardinals 2 and the Red Sox nothing. Commissioner of Baseball welcomes all of you here to the 7th game of the World Series and thanks you fans across America for your loyal support. William D. Eckert, the Commissioner of Baseball. Elston Howard takes ball 1 from Bob Gibson. Howard's had 2 hits in 16 times, batting 125. Lonborg will follow. Gets a little pop off the fist to Cepeda. We have 1 down. Orlando giving it the old one-hand job. Here's Lonborg coming up and getting a hand. Joe Foy will be on deck. Going around in the fastball for a strike. Santiago now is set down in the bullpen. Cardinals today are going to back up Gibson with Briles and Carlton. A ball, 1-1. So if Gibson needs any help, it'll be right-hander Briles and left-hander Carlton. A 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, 1-2. Bob Gibson has a good fastball today. Flying Lonborg to the opposite field. That's strike 3, and that is the 4th strikeout for Gibson. 2 down, nobody on. And to the top of the order to Joe Foy. Foy was inserted at third base out in St. Louis Monday. They started him again yesterday. Now young Dalton Jones is mad because he's not playing. He complained to manager Dick Williams. Strike. Williams says, I like mad guys on my ball club that don't want to sit on the bench. Foy walked his first time up. Slider misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joe Foy. I understand there's a freight car on fire in back of the ballpark. That's the reason for all the smoke coming up. Strike 2. I think we should get the 2 bullpens to go out there and put it out, Ken?
They couldn't do it too well yesterday.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down, nobody on. Just got a piece of that one. 1-2. The Cardinals have 2 runs, 5 hits. The Red Sox, no runs, no hits. Last of the 3rd inning. Low 1-2 delivery. He's gone. Foy caught looking, and Bob Gibson has struck out 5. 3 up and 3 down in the last of the 3rd. At the end of 3, it's the Cardinals 2 and the Red Sox nothing. We hope you've enjoyed the World Series on NBC, our Major League Baseball throughout the year, the All-Star Game, AFL games, the big postseason bowl games. NBC bringing you blue ribbon events and sports the year round. And here's Tim McCarver, who popped up his first time. Ball 1. Well, right now, about 50 million people, Ken, looking over Jim Lonborg's shoulder. Maybe more. 1 ball, no strikes. Outside to McCarver, 2-0. Maris single in the first, Javier single in the second. Maxwell, Flood, and Maris had base hits in the 3rd. 5 hits for the Cardinals. 2 balls, no strikes. Fastball good. 2-1. Lonborg, Mike McCormick, and Earl Wilson led the major leagues this year in most victories, 22 apiece during the regular season. 2-2 to McCarver, who lost his batting helmet. Jim Lonborg led the American League in strikeouts. He had 245 strikeouts. That's the 2nd highest for any Red Sox pitcher in history. Smokey Joe Wood had 13 more back in 1912. Slider broke in on it, missing that corner, 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out, top of the 4th. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, foul off his foot. That hurts. A lot of times the opposing dugout will give you the yap, yap, the old yelping dog routine. Three and two, the count to McCarver. Ground ball to Mike Andrews. One away for the Cardinals in the top of the fourth. Next batter is Mike Shannon, who struck out in the second. Shannon batting .238. These Red Sox players are being engulfed on the banquet circuit this winter in honors, as will the Cardinals in their area. There's a strike. The Boston press photographers have named Dick Williams their Man of the Year and Lonborg their Young Man of the Year. They have a big press ball here on October 29th in honor of those two for their cooperation, picture taking throughout the year. Ball one, strike one. The 1-1 pitch. Foul, back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mike Shannon. Cardinals ahead 2-0. Batting in the fourth with 1 out, nobody on. Big chopper hit down to Joe Foy at third. 2 away. Lonborg's got that sinker ball working for him now. Last 3 men have grounded to the infield.
Lonborg has been in this kind of a ball game before. That is a very big one where he's been behind. In the last game of the season against Minnesota, he trailed 2-0 until the Red Sox exploded for 5 runs in the 6th inning against a great pitcher named Dean Chance. So Jim is trying to hold it and hoping they can break through on Bob Gibson.
That line foul just missed the third base coach, Joe Schultz. It was Rico Petrocelli who went out to pick up the ball. The play the shortstop has to make in this ballpark if that ball had been fair and caroms off the stands. On the inside corner. Two down, nobody on. 0-2 to Javier. Strike 3 gone. A strong inning for Lonborg as he put the Cardinals down 1-2-3. In the middle of the fourth, it's the Cardinals 2 and the Red Sox 0. Mike Andrews leading off for the Red Sox in the last of the 4th inning, followed by Yastrzemski and Harrelson. Bob Gibson has been overpowering in these first 3 innings. There's a ground ball, foul. Bobby Dorr, the first base coach. Gibson now has allowed no runs in his last 18 innings against the Red Sox. Strike. He gave up a home run to Santiago with 1 out in the 3rd inning of the first game of the series and has not allowed a run since. A 0-2 pitch to Mike Andrews. A ball. And the sun is ducked through. One ball, 2 strikes. Foul out of play. Gibson was good enough basketball player at Creighton University in Omaha to get an offer from the Harlem Globetrotters. In fact, he did play 1 winter with them. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is a foul ball. You saw Gibson charge off that mound. He's one of the best fielding pitchers in baseball. And the broken leg hasn't seemed to set him back at all on his fielding ability. He was a Golden Glove winner as a fielding pitcher in 1965 and 1966. A 1-2 delivery. Struck him out. That's number 6 for Bob Gibson. Here's Carl Yastrzemski popped up in the first inning. One of the reasons Yastrzemski says he's had a big year is special physical programming he went through. Isometrics, special exercises. Ball went to strengthen his fingers, his wrists, his forearms, entire body. Went out Linfield out to a fellow George Page's health club out there from a Hungarian named Bernie and took a 5-month course to strengthen every muscle in his body. Ball 2-0. When you get up against him, you're surprised that he's not bigger than he is. But he's very compact. You know, Ken, he once played for the Cardinals.
No.
Fella sent me in an old scrapbook. There's a strike. There's the home run leaders in the series. Carl Yastrzemski Jr. and his father, Carl Sr., played for Lake Ronkonkoma Cardinals, an old semi-pro league. Bounding ball to second. Javier over to first. 2 down. Carl played shortstop, and his father played third base on this Cardinal ball club, Long Island, in a semi-pro league. Ken Harrelson took a call, 3rd strike, his first time. The Cardinals are ahead, 2-0. Fouls it back. 0-1 to Harrelson with George Scott on deck. Cardinals have 2 runs, 5 hits. The Red Sox, no runs, no hits. Foul tip into the mid of Tim McCarver. No balls, 2 strikes. Gibson walked the leadoff batter, Foy. He got behind George Scott 2-0, but the rest of the way he's been throwing strikes with something on him. The 2-strike pitch. Pop foul back out of play. You notice so far the Red Sox have not been able to get around on him. They're fouling pitches off. They're grounding fouls to the opposite side. And they have not hit a ball out of the infield so far. That's how overpowering Bob Gibson has been. No balls, 2 strikes to Ken Harrelson. 2 down, bases empty. Just missed with that slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watch McCarver stick the mid up. On the outside of the plate. There it is. Another overpowering inning for Bob Gibson. He has now struck out 7 men in 4 innings. Red Sox 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 4, the Cardinals 2 and the Red Sox nothing. The 5th inning, and Dal Maxwell leading off. There's the Commissioner of Baseball, William D. Eckert. He sent you his official greetings today. Maxwell tripled to lead off the 3rd. There's a count of 2-0 now to Maxwell. Bob Gibson will follow, then to the top of the order, and Lou Brock. Bounding ball to Joe Foy at 3rd. one down. Lonborg settling down now, has retired 5 in a row. The Cardinals came up with 2 runs and 3 hits in the third. Bob Gibson getting a hand from the fans at Fenway Park. Well-deserved hand. He fouls it back. He lined out to third his first time up. Gibson struck out 7 in the first game in 4 innings. He has struck out 7 in 4 innings of this game. He holds the all-time World Series strikeout record of 31 strikeouts in a World Series. He has 23 strikeouts in this series. Fastball for a called strike. 1-2 to Bob Gibson. St. Louis Cardinals trying to win their 8th series. There's a high drive to deep center. Reggie Smith roaming back. That ball is a home run for Bob Gibson into the center field bleachers, just to the left of our NBC camera out there. That ball kept carrying. So there he is, complete athlete Bob Gibson. With the bat, with the arm today. The Cardinals lead 3-0. Second home run in this series by a pitcher. Santiago homered for the Red Sox. He's hit 12 homers during his regular season career. Cardinals all saying, give me some skin. 1 out, Lou Brock grounds it foul to the first base coach, Dick Sisler. Brock has flied to left and popped to short. Only the Yankees have won more World Series than the Cardinals. Yankees winning 20, the Cardinals have won 7. Red Sox have won 5 out of 6 World Series. A ball, 1-1. So the line score now is the Cardinals, 3 runs, 6 hits. The Red Sox, no runs, no hits. One ball, 2 strikes to Lou Brock. Curt Flood's on deck. The 1-2 delivery. 2-2 to Brock. There's Curt Flood. The 2-2 pitch. There's a looper dropping into left for a base hit, and Brock is on. And the Cardinals now have 7 hits. Curt Flood lined to center in the first, single to center to knock in a run in the third. Dick Williams just waved George Scott Howard out to talk to Lonborg. This will give the bullpen some time to get ready. Jose Santiago is starting to warm up. He had warmed up in the 3rd inning. Santiago, who started the opening game of the series. And also started in St. Louis. Lou Brock, who already has stolen 4 bases in the series, on first base. 1 out. 5th inning, the Cardinals leading 3-0. Lonborg drives him back. Brock has 11 hits now in this series. Ball 1. The record for most hits in a 7-game series is 13, held by Bobby Richardson with the Yankees in 1964. Most stolen bases in a 7-game series is 6. There he goes. 5th stolen base. High outside pitch that Howard couldn't handle. The Brock now is one away from tying the all-time series record of 6 stolen bases. Hannes Wagner, 1909 with the Pirates, stole 6 bases in a 7-game series. Jim Slagle with the Cubs in 1907 in a 5-game series, stole 6 bases. A 2-0 count to Curt Flood. Breaking pitch over for a strike, 2-1. There's about a $3,300 difference between winning this game and losing this game, for the winner's share and the loser's share. 3-1 to Flood. 1 out, Lou Brock on second. There he goes, and he's in the third. He has stolen third, I think, only 4 times. He very seldom tries to go to third. They got a big jump and took off. And he has now tied a World Series record of 6 stolen bases. He has stolen second here in the 5th inning. He's stolen third. Curt Flood got the walk. Runners on first and third, 1 out. Well, Brock gets on again. His next time up, he'll have a chance to go for an all-time World Series record. Roger Maris has an infield hit, and he's single to right. 2 out of 2. A ball to him. Maris hitting .400 in the series. Cardinals ahead 3-0. Lonborg just walked his first man. And his second walk in the series. Gets the curve over for a strike. 1-1. Lou Brock at third. Curt Flood at first. 1-1 pitch to Maris. Ball to 2-1 now. Infield back at short and second. They'll go for the double play if they can. Foy shortened up at third. The 2-1 pitch. A strike in the outside corner. 2-2. Here are the series RBI leaders. Maris with 6. Yastrzemski with 5. And Brock, Flood, Petroselli, and Smith with 3. Two pitch to Maris. Ball 3. 3-2. Full count. They'll probably send Flood on this pitch. He's at first. Brock's at third. 1 out. Maris pulls the ball and can hit behind the runner. Scott's holding. They give him a hole there on the right side. There goes Flood. There's a drive in the right field to Harrelson, who picked it off. The tag by Brock. He's riding on in home, and the Cardinals lead now 4-0. Sacrifice fly for Maris, and his 7th RBI of the series. The most RBIs of any other batter. Curt Flood at first. 2 down. Lou Brock has also tied another record of the most runs scored in a 7-game series. 8. That was his 8th run he just scored. Flood back. Oddly enough, the record for most runs scored in a series is 9, and that came in only 4 games by Babe Ruth. 1928. Cepeda's grounded to the infield twice. Flood back again. 2 away. The Cardinals 2 runs across. They're leading now 4-0 in the top of the 5th inning. A quiet crowd right now here at Fenway Park. Foul back by Cepeda. You got one group that keep chapping and clearing down there. That's the Cardinal wives. They're in a little group there, and they keep clapping as the Cardinals come to bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. And yelling, "We want a hit." Curt Flood at first. 2 down. 1-1 to Orlando Cepeda. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cepeda is the 6th batter up for the Cardinals this inning. One out, Gibson homered. Brock single. Stole second, stole third as Flood walked. Maris a sacrifice fly, brought in Brock. A little bit low, 2-2 to Cepeda. And Brock has also tied another record, 2 stolen bases in 1 inning. The last man to do it, of all people, we keep talking about him when we go to the World Series record book, Babe Ruth, 1921. Throw to first. Well, that's 46 years since a player in the World Series stole 2 bases in 1 inning. The 2-2 pitch. That's a foul ball. Just foul. Cepeda broke his bat. Here's Curt Flood going back to first. St. Louis 4, Boston nothing in the top of the 5th. Lonborg pitching with a 2-2 count to Orlando Cepeda. Three and 2. Curt Flood will be running on this pitch. There he goes. Foul back. Flood, one of the group of speedsters that the Cardinals have in their batting order. They can all move on the base lines. Lonborg pitching 3 and 2 again. Flood's on the move, and it's a high foul out of play down the left field line. Lonborg serving up another 3-2 pitch to Cepeda. There goes Flood. Cepeda hits a high fly in the left field. Yastrzemski drawing a beat on it. And the Cardinals are retired in the 5th. But they had 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left in the middle of the 5th. Cardinals 4, Red Sox nothing. They have just ordered the lights on here. Johnny Stevens explaining to Bob Gibson. And now to carry you over the last part of the ball game, the fine broadcaster of the Boston Red Sox. It's been a real pleasure to work with him and also with Harry Carey, the voice of the Cardinals. Right now, Mr. Ken Coleman.
Okay, Curt, thank you very much. Those ladies you were just looking at down there are the wives of the Cardinals, who I'm sure must be very happy about this time. They've got a 4-0 lead as we go to the last half of the fifth, and George Scott leads off against Bob Gibson. Ball one. In 3 of the first 4 innings, Gibson has struck out 2 men, had 1 man in the first inning. Scott stings one. Off the wall, may be good for 3. Scott will come home.
All right, let's watch his smash of Scott's. He has real power, especially to straight away. This ball's in the deepest part of the park without going out of the park. Flood trying to pick it up, has trouble there. And the relay comes on in and goes by the third baseman, Shannon, into the dugout.
Reggie Smith now. Fly ball to Maris in right field. And there's 1 out. So the Red Sox in the 5th inning get on the board against Gibson. And it's the first time in a long time that they've scored against Bob. Here's Petroselli, who struck out last time. Ball 1. St. Louis 4, Boston 1. Last half of inning 5. Ball 2. Balls, 1 strike on Petroselli. Gibson had 19 scoreless innings against the Red Sox. Prior to this, 2-2. The error on the throw-in charged to second baseman Julian Javier. A triple, and the error accounting for the run. This crowd has been quiet for the most part here in Boston today. They have not had much to cheer about until just a moment ago. Gibson strikes out Petroselli for the 2nd time. That's number 8 for Bob. And there are 2 men out of the Boston 5th as Elston Howard comes to the plate. Howard popped up to first baseman Orlando Cepeda in the 3rd. Left fielder Lou Brock in on this one. And the Red Sox are out in the 5th inning. But they picked up 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, nobody is left on. And so at the end of 5, the score is St. Louis 4 and Boston 1. We pause now for station identification.
Football League doubleheader. Most of the country in the first game watching Houston against New York. It'll be Oakland against Buffalo, Miami against Boston on a full network, Kansas City against San Diego. Paul Christmas will be out there to bring that one to you. All right, Ken, here we go to the 6th inning.
Okay, Curt, thank you. This is McCarver, who's popped to short and grounded to second. Strike 1. Jose Santiago had been warming up in the bullpen. Now the Red Sox have 2 more pitchers warming up, and it's likely that Lonborg will go out after this half inning for a pinch hitter. Harrelson had it and then lost it, and on at second base is McCarver. as down in the right field corner, Pryor gave the outside, but then Harrelson did not hold it long enough, and so it is a leadoff double for McCarver.
I think, Ken, that happens many times. They dislodge the ball when they hit the ground. Harrelson driving his shoulder in the ground and rolling over, and the ball was jarred loose. So he made quite an effort, and the crowd was all set to give him a big ovation. He's not known as a fancy fielder, but he nearly made the play of the ball game there.
He almost did, and now Shannon is up with a runner at second and nobody out. The Cardinals, with 2 in the third and 2 in the fifth, hold a 4-1 lead as we play here in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Shannon has struck out swinging, bounced out to third baseman Joe Foy. There's McCarver, who has very good speed. Ball 1. Shannon has struck out swinging, bounced out to third baseman Joe Foy. There's McCarver, who has very good speed for a catcher. Foy makes a good stop, but no chance for the play. Ball was hit like a shot down to the Red Sox third baseman. And Shannon is on first base. And Dick Williams, the Red Sox manager, is coming out of the Boston dugout. An error was charged on the play to third baseman Foy. Now here's the 38-year-old Red Sox manager going out to talk to Jim Lonborg. Osinski and Brett are warming up in the bullpen, and Santiago is also ready. Jose's been warming up quite a while. The left-hander is 19-year-old Kimmer Brett, the right-hander Dan Osinski. But Williams is going back and staying with a man who really has brought the Red Sox this far this year, Jim Lonborg. 22-game winner over the season and winner of 2 in the World Series. At the plate, you'll be looking in a moment at Julian Javier, who has singled to left field and been called out on strikes. As Curt mentioned earlier, he's had a tremendous series both at the plate and in the field. Strike 1. The Cardinals lead the Red Sox 4-1 in the 6th inning at Fenway. Strike 2.
A lot of ballparks, team would be bunting in this situation to move those runners up to second and third. But here at Fenway Park, most clubs try and play for a big inning whenever they can.
Those close-up shots of Lonborg, I think, show that the big right-hander is drawn. Long drive to left field. Yastrzemski back. This one in the screen for a 3-run home run. Julian Javier has hit a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals now lead by a score of 7-0. 2-1. The 8th hit, or the 9th now, for Javier in this World Series. The second home run of the day for St. Louis, the batter, Dal Maxfield. Ball 1. Maxfield had a triple in the 3rd and scored the first Cardinal run off the fence in center field, and in the 5th inning he bounced out to 3rd. One ball, one strike. One and two. The Cardinals got 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, have 3 here in the 6th. Red Sox got 1 in the 5th inning. 1 and 2. Every Cardinal player has at least 1 hit, except for Cepeda and Shannon. 2 and 2. Ken Harrelson makes the catch in right field. 1 out in the 6th inning. Maxfield hit it well. And next will be Bob Gibson. This 1967 World Series telecast comes to you from Fenway Park in Boston, live in color and exclusively on NBC. Gibson getting a well-deserved hand from the fans here at Fenway. He's pitched tremendous ball all the way in this series. Strike 1. And last time up, banged a home run. Hit the ball very hard his first time up, when he lined viciously to Foy at 3rd in the 3rd inning with a couple on. 2 strikes to Bob. One and 2. There is 1 out in the 6th. St. Louis has a 7-1 lead. Third baseman Foy over to Scott. 2 men out in the 6th inning for St. Louis. And Lou Brock will be coming up next. Brock in the 1st inning flied to Yastrzemski in left. Carl made a fine running catch, going hard to his right to take it. Popped to Petrocelli in the 3rd. Singled in the 5th inning and scored the 4th St. Louis run as he stole 2nd and stole 3rd in that 5th. Ball 1. Base hit down in the corner, and Brock wheels towards second base. Yastrzemski's throw coming into Petrocelli and then on to Foy. Brock has a double. That's hit number 12 in the series for Lou. A pair here today. The record is 13. As we mentioned earlier, Curt brought out Bobby Richardson's name. Strike 1. Flood 1 for 2. Fouls it off. 2 strikes to Curt. Curt is flied to center, single to center field, and walked. In the 3rd inning, he scored the 2nd St. Louis run, coming home on a Jim Lonborg wild pitch. Cardinals have 10 hits now. Brock, Maris, and Javier have 2 each. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Flood had a .335 average over the course of the year, an ideal man to have batting in back of Lou Brock. Lonborg strikes him out, and the Cardinals are down in the 6th. And Lonborg is getting an ovation. The fans know that this will be it for Jim, who will leave for a pinch hitter, gets a tremendous man. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left. After 5.5, it's St. Louis 7 and Boston 1. Jose Tarnable leads off in the 6th inning for the Red Sox, batting for Jim Lonborg. The first pitch, a strike to him. Tarnable very fast. Strike 2. Bob Gibson has had at least 1 strikeout in every inning in this ball game so far. A total of 8. He walked 1 man, the leadoff man, Joe Foy. 1 and 2. The only hit, the triple by Scott in the 5th inning, on which George scored as Javier's throw to 3rd went into the St. Louis dugout. 7-1 Cardinals. Foul tipped into the mitt of Tim McCarver, and Tarnable is out. 1 out in the 6th inning. The amazing thing about Gibson, who has worked in this series twice now with only 3 days rest, when he's been accustomed to more, is that he has not showed any sign of weakening at any point. Ball 1 to Joe Foy. In addition to his first inning walk, Foy was called out on strikes in the 3rd. McCarver makes the catch. 2 out in the 6th inning.
Jose Santiago's warming up with the bullpen, Ken, and he'll be coming on to face the Cardinals. Jim Lonborg probably is already in the clubhouse. The season over for him, but he's had a season that the Red Sox fans will never forget.
That's for sure, Curt. He's been a tremendous pitcher for this ball club. He's been the stopper. Done a magnificent job. Maxville throws out Andrews, and the Red Sox are down quickly in the 6th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. At the end of 6 innings, the Cardinals 7 and the Red Sox 1.
Last year, over 250,000 owners of other low-price cars were won over to Plymouth. It started a movement, a momentum, a beat. And the beat goes on with Petula Clark.
Chrysler presents the Bob Hope Comedy Special with Bob's special guests Debbie Reynolds, Steve Lawrence, and Edie Gourmet. There'll be music, fun, and laughter Monday, October 16th, right here on NBC. Jose Santiago, who opened the first game for the Red Sox, also was a starter in St. Louis, knocked out in the 1st inning, comes back now in relief. At the end of 6, the Cardinals 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The Red Sox 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. The Cardinals scoring 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th inning. And a sprinkling of Cardinal fans on their feet for their stretch in the top of the 7th. So here we go now, Ken, with the batter, Roger Maris.
And here's a fellow who's had a great series. Maris today has a pair of base hits and a sacrifice fly, has driven in 1 of the runs, has a total of 10 hits in the series. Strike one. Santiago, the opening day pitcher here, gave up 10 hits in that game and 2 runs. He's given up a total of 16 hits in 7 2/3 innings. 2 strikes. Elston Howard back, but it's about 2 rows away from him. The plate umpire there, Johnny Stevens of the American League, according to a report today, may be umpiring for the last time. He has reached the retirement age for American League umpires, and he's been a great credit to the American League for many years. That's foul. Maris really coming around that time. 2 strikes to Roger. One ball, 2 strikes. Cepeda will be next, and McCarver will bat third. St. Louis leads 7-1. This is the 7th inning. Way foul. Well stroked to left center. Reggie Smith makes the catch. Roger Maris flies out to Reggie Smith. 1 out in the St. Louis 7th inning. Orlando Cepeda has grounded out to second, bounced to shortstop, and flied to Yastrzemski in left field. Strike one. Two strikes the count on Orlando. Out in St. Louis, we saw a lot of signs about Albertos. We understand that was Cepeda's idea. 1-2. Santiago strikes out Orlando Cepeda. 2 down in the 7th inning. Jim Lonborg, in his 6 innings, allowed 10 hits and 7 runs, walked 1, struck out 3, and a pair of wild pitches. Tim McCarver now. 1 for 3 today. Popped up toward the mound. Foy takes charge. 1-2-3 in the 7th inning for the Cardinals. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. The end of 6 1/2 at St. Louis 7 and Boston 1.
The Washington, D.C. International Horse Race of Laurel, Maryland, live in color, exclusively on NBC. Well, the Red Sox now, trying to get a rally going, will have to get on base. They'll just be trying to get on to get something moving.
Carl Yastrzemski has popped to short and grounded out to second. Ball 1. Bob Gibson has given up 1 hit, a triple to Scott. He scored on it on a throwing error that went into the Cardinal dugout for the only Boston run as St. Louis leads 7-1. Ball 2. After giving up an opening walk, Gibson got 15 in a row before Scott's triple. Now he's had 6 in a row. 2 balls, 1 strike to Yastrzemski. Harrelson is on deck. Scott is due up third. 3-1. It has been the trademark of the Boston Ball Club that they have come from behind. But Bob Gibson has been tremendous in this series. He's thrown a lot of pitches today, struck out 9 men. 3-2. Yastrzemski gets a leadoff walk in the Boston 7th inning, the second allowed by Gibson. He walked the leadoff man in the game, Foy, and with a runner at first and nobody out, the batter is Harrelson, who has been up twice and struck out both times, once called and once swinging. 1 for 11 in this series. Strike one. One and one. And now Cardinal manager Red Schoendienst, for the first time today, goes to the mound to talk to his ace. It's not a case of thinking of pulling him, because nobody has been up in that Cardinal bullpen today at all. Red is just trying to settle him down. There is nobody out in the 7th for Boston. They're trailing by 6, 7-1. Yastrzemski is on first with nobody out. Two and two. To Javier, safe at first base. Yastrzemski cut down on the 4th play. Harrelson is on first base, 1 out in the Boston 7th. And Scott coming up.
Here's a fellow that's hit Gibson about as well as anybody in the Red Sox. He ripped a couple of hits off him in the first game. Scott has been able to get around on Gibson more and has hit him harder than any Red Sox batter.
He has accounted for the only hit and the only run for the Red Sox in this game after being called out on strikes his first time up. Triple to the center field. Strike one. Scott is not wishing John Stevens a happy retirement. Strike two. Gibson giving him breaking stuff this time. If Gibson wins today, as Curt mentioned earlier, he will become the 3rd National League pitcher in series history to win 5 series games. McCarver coming back. Makes the catch. Scott is out. 2 down in the Boston 7th. 7-1 the Cardinals lead, and the batter will be center fielder Reggie Smith. Only 3 members of the Red Sox have reached. 2 on walks, 1 on the triple by Scott, who, as I said, scored on a throwing error on the triple. Smith has bounced out to Javier at second. Fly to Maris in right. Ball one. Harrelson at first. Ball two. Two and one. Reggie 6 for 23 in the series. Young fellow with a great future for Boston. Fouls it. Bobby Doerr had to jump rope.
Some of the Cardinals we talked to, of course, did not know Reggie Smith, only the scouting reports. They've been very impressed on him in this series. And they think he's going to be a fine Major League ball player in the future. They like him, the Cardinals.
Well, he started very slowly this year, and Dick Williams patiently stayed with him. Foul out of play, and Reggie produced. Because Dick had him last year at Toronto and was a pretty good idea on how well this fellow could do. Three and two.
Got something going for him, being a switch hitter with punch from either side of the plate.
Harrelson going, Smith rounding it off. There are two out in the last half of the seventh inning. St. Louis has a 7-1 lead. The Cardinals have a pair of home runs in this game. A 3-run job by Julian Javier. Gibson had a solo blast in the fifth. Who's it going to be? It is the second baseman, Julian Javier, who makes the catch to retire the side. For the Red Sox in the seventh, no runs, no hits, and one man left on. At the end of 7, the score is St. Louis 7 and Boston 1. We pause now for station identification. With the Cardinals leading by a score of 7-1, you're looking at Red Schoendienst, who does not appear to be as happy as he feels, I'm sure, at this stage. A fairly secure lead, and this fellow's done a great job managing the St. Louis club. The Red Sox have Dave Moorhead warming up in the bullpen as Mike Shannon leads off against Jose Santiago. There you see Mike's series totals. Petrocelli to Scott, one down. There's Dave Moorhead from San Diego, California, who pitched well in relief for Boston at Bush Memorial Stadium in St. Louis. One out in the eighth, and the batter Julian Javier. A single and a home run in 3 trips today. He has scored a run, has driven in 3. Strike one. Strike two. Santiago uses that pitch effectively on occasion. Crossfire, sometimes, as it was then, a breaking ball, and sometimes the fastball. Harrelson backing up. That guy scares you out there. 2 down. As we mentioned yesterday, he is not an outfielder by trade. He's a first baseman and has been pressed into service because of the absence of Tony Conigliaro. And Ken, for the most part, has done very well, but he admittedly does not feel really at home in that position and shows it at times. Ball one, the count to Maxville, who got the Cardinals off winging in the third with a triple and scored the first St. Louis run. Ball two.
And Javier surprises you with his punch now and then. He hit the 3-run homer to left, and he drove that ball a long ways for a right-handed batter of the opposite field.
George Scott makes the catch, and the Cardinals go out in order in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. After 7 1/2 at Fenway, the score is St. Louis 7 and Boston 1. Rico Petrocelli leads off in the last half of the 8th. Ball one.
Ken Bob Gibson, if he goes the distance in this game, will tie Ruffing's record of pitching 5 consecutive complete games in a World Series.
Ball two on Petrocelli, who has been up twice and struck out swinging both times. The Red Sox have one hit, the triple by Scott. The Cardinals lead 7 to 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Petrocelli may get 2 out of this. Lou Brock firing it in. Safe at second. Rico Petrocelli leads off the 8th inning with a double to left field. And Dalton Jones now is coming up to bat for Elston Howard. It was Jones who ignited the Boston rally yesterday with a single. Dalton at the plate to bat for Howard. His average 389 in the series. And for the first time today, action in the bullpen. The pitch gets away. Petrocelli on to third. Left-hander and a right-hander working out there for the Cardinals. Carlton and Briles. And Billy Muffet, the pitching coach of the Cardinals, goes to the mound. Bob Gibson has pitched tremendous baseball this afternoon, but he has come back for the second time in this series with 3 days rest, and he's been used to more. He still has not shown any signs of tiring up to this inning, but Petrocelli has led off with a double and has gone to third on a wild pitch. And now the count is ball one to Jones. On deck is Norm Seaburn, who will bat for Santiago. Ball two. There is the veteran Norm Seaburn, who's had World Series experience before with the Yankees. Ball three. Inning. The Red Sox have runners at first and third with nobody out. And suddenly this crowd has come alive at Fenway Park, because so often during the course of this storybook 1967 season, they've seen the Cinderella kids come up with a late rally. Seaburn to bat for Santiago.
Shane Dienst and Billy Muffet, the pitching coach, intently studying Gibson now. When Gibson starts throwing 4 balls in a row, it may be a sign he's really tiring.
That's the third walk Bob's allowed. Strike one to Seaburn. off.
I think Seburn's a little mad at himself for not swinging in that pitch. It was hung up there for him.
They make the force at second. Petrocelli comes home to score. And St. Louis leads 7-2 as Seburn reaches on the force play at second base. So there is now a Boston runner at first. There is one out as you look at Schoendienst and Sisler and Muffet. Foy is up. Strike one. Joe Foy has walked, then called out on strikes and fouled to the catcher. One ball, one strike. Moorhead will be coming on in the ninth for the Red Sox. Herb Ball got him 1-2. Makes the force play at second base. Foy reaching on the fielder's choice as they cut down Seburn with the shortstop Maxfield taking the throw. So there are two men out in the Boston eighth. The Cardinals lead 7-2, and the batter is Mike Andrews. Mike sacrificed in the first inning, was called out on strikes in the fourth, grounded out to Maxfield at shortstop in the sixth. John Stevens wants to look at the ball. Check swing grounder, and the great fielding pitcher of the Cardinals, Bob Gibson, flips it to Cepeda for the out. What a play. And that is all in the eighth for the Red Sox as they come up with one run on a one-base hit, and one man is left on. At the end of 8, the score is St. Louis 7 and Boston 2.
Tonight on the Dean Martin Show, Dino welcomes as his guests Gail Martin, George Goebel, Jack Guilford, and Stanley Holloway. Join the music and laughter on the Dean Martin Show tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Dalton Jones is going to third. Dave Moorhead is now pitching for the Red Sox, and Russ Gibson will go behind the plate. Jones will stay in the number 9 spot. Gibson will hit in the 10th spot, and Moorhead, the pitcher, will bat in the number 1 spot, with Foy being lifted. So at the end of 8 now, the Cardinals 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The Red Sox 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. And Bob Gibson with a big chance now to win his 3rd series game of this series, his 5th in a row, his 5th complete game, will be leading off. And he deserves a big ovation for his great pitching, not only in this series, but in the 64 series, and for the job he's done in his 7 years with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right you are, Curt. Gibson has also today had a home run and lined out for third base, grounded out to third also. This is the 9th. The Cardinals lead at 7-2, and the fans in Boston, who have always appreciated baseball at its best, applaud Bob Gibson. Foul out of play. Visiting fans or visiting ball players have often commented about the way the fans here react to great plays by either side. Very knowledgeable baseball fans. Foul tip to the mid of Russ Gibson. 2 strikes. Bob Gibson strikes out. 1 out in the 9th inning. Dave Moorhead, you notice, comes down over the top most of the time. He's got an overhand curveball that, when you and I were young, Curt, they called a drop.
The old out drop. Here's Lou Brock now, Ken, a chance to tie a series record. He can get a base hit, which would be his 13th of the series.
2 of the hits today. Ball 1. And also, if he got a hit, he's always a threat to steal, and that could go for a record, too. Ball 2. St. Louis 7, Boston 2. This is the 9th inning. There's 1 out. 2 balls, 1 strike. Full count, 3-1. Or not full, but 3-1. Foul back. One man out in the Cardinal 9th. St. Louis 7 and Boston 2. Lou Brock goes to first base.
That follows his seasonal pattern. That's just his 2nd walk in the series, despite all the times he's been on. And he walked only 24 times during the regular season. Now, keep your eyes on Brock. If he steals a base, he'll break the all-time series record. It'll be his 7th stolen base, if he can go.
Curt Flood has flied to center, singled to center, walked and struck out. There he goes, and there's the record. Brock has done it again. His 7th stolen base of the 1967 World Series, his 3rd here today, and that is a new series record.
That's also 7 steals out of 7 attempts for him.
During the regular season, he stole 52 times and was thrown out 18 times. And I don't know who the fellas were who threw him out, but they must have been carrying rifles up their sleeves. I understand Jerry May threw him out 3 times in one ball game. Ball 2, the count on Flood. Ball 3. Dave Moorhead, a couple of years ago, pitched a no-hit game for the Red Sox against the Cleveland Indians. Flood is on. So after striking out Gibson, Moorhead has walked Brock and Flood, and Roger Maris is up. Maris, with 2 hits and a sacrifice fly today, has driven home a run. Also has flied deep to center field. Ball 1. Dan Osinski is warming up in the Boston bullpen. Ball 2. Brock has also tied another record. Now Dick Williams is coming out to the mound. He has tied a record for most stolen bases in a game, 3, held by 2 men, both National Leaguers. The last one, Willie Davis, in 1965. Honus Wagner did it in 1909 for Pittsburgh. In addition to Osinski, Brett is now warming up for Boston. Runners at first and second and 1 out. This is the 9th inning, 7-2 St. Louis. Maris fouls it back. 2-1. Our World Series statistician here in our NBC booth has been Alan Roth, and our production stage manager, Jim O'Gorman. 3-1. Roger Maris is on. Moorhead has walked 3 men in a row. Roger Maris is on. Moorhead has walked 3 men in a row. And now, Red Sox pitching coach Sal Magley is coming out to the mound. Moorhead, as I mentioned, pitched very well in St. Louis. But Dave's had control problems here today, and he is going to be lifted now. Jim Lonborg was the starting pitcher today for Boston. The brilliant right-hander of the Red Sox went the first 6 innings. Jose Santiago worked 2 innings of hitless, runless ball. And now the call will go to veteran right-hander Dan Osinski. So Moorhead has worked just 1/3 of an inning and has given up 3 walks and will be responsible for the 3 men who are on with 1 out in the 9th. With the score 7-2 in favor of St. Louis. There's a break in the action here at Fenway Park in Boston. The score is St. Louis 7 and Boston 2. Dan Osinski warming up for the Red Sox with the bases loaded, 1 out in the Cardinal 9th inning. St. Louis 7 and Boston 2.
Looking at that last of the 9th, the Red Sox last hope. They'll have the heart of their order up, Yastrzemski, Harrelson, and Scott. The Red Sox are all out of left-handed pinch hitters, though. And all they'll have left in the dugout, right-handers.
There you see the series RBI leaders. Roger Maris with 7, Yastrzemski with 5, Javier with 4, Brock Petrocelli and Reggie Smith with 3. Cepeda up with the bases full. He's gone 0 for 4. There's 1 out. The home run leaders, Yastrzemski with 3, Petrocelli and Smith with 2 each. Jones and Petrocelli over, and Rico Petrocelli makes the catch. Osinski takes the throw in front of Gibson as Brock was bluffing. And that Brock, even at that short a distance, can scare you. Cepeda fouling out to the shortstop, and there are 2 men out in the 9th inning as McCarver is coming up. Tim has popped up to shortstop, grounded out to second, doubled into right field and scored a run in the 6th, and popped up to third base in the 7th. And now they're going to lift Osinski and bring on 19-year-old left-hander Kimmer Brett, which is a story in itself, because there's been only 1 man in World Series history who has been in a World Series younger than Kimmer Brett, and that's Freddie Lindstrom.
Red Sox have been looking for a starting left-hander for years. This may be the boy. as Mel Parnell left the scene here. Left-handed pitching has been hard to come by. We'll talk more about this right now. There's a break in the action here at Fenway Park. The score is the Cardinals 7 and the Red Sox 2. This boy Ken Brett had a brilliant minor league season. This will be his second appearance in the series, only 19, and he figures to be a regular starter next year. He has to go into service for 15 weeks, maybe late in spring training. This ballpark, most visiting teams, and the Red Sox do, load their lineup with right-handers, and a left-hander has trouble here. But his stuff tails away from a right-hander. And you always need a good left-hander, too, on your staff anyway. You got to go play on that road. But this boy could be a real pitcher of the future for the Red Sox. You'll be seeing his name a lot in starting rotation next year.
Well, I'll tell you how much the Red Sox think about him. They signed him ahead of Gary Nolan, who is a great pitcher this year for Cincinnati. If he can do anything like Nolan has done, Curt, they've found themselves somebody.
And how?
McCarver hits it towards Scott. George plays it alone. And that's all in the ninth inning. For St. Louis, no runs, no hits. 3 men are left on. After 8 1/2, the Cardinals 7 and the Red Sox 2. The fans here at Fenway Park are giving a standing ovation to Carl Yastrzemski of the Red Sox, who will lead off in the last half of the ninth inning. And may I just say, if I'm allowed a personal note here, that this has been a tremendous year for Boston baseball, a team that came from a half game out of 10th place last year to the American League pennant. It's been an inspiration to have been around these men. And this fellow here won the Triple Crown and has helped to revive the baseball interest not only in New England but all over. Ball one. Carlton and Briles are warming up in the bullpen. Yastrzemski is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball two. The Red Sox in Boston this year broke their all-time attendance record. Balls and no strikes.
Tom Yawkey has owned this ball club for 33 years. He said this is the top thrill he's ever had, seeing this young team come from out of nowhere.
3-1 on Yastrzemski. Harrelson is on deck and Scott will follow. St. Louis with a 7-2 lead in the ninth. And Bob Gibson has pitched a brilliant ball game. Yastrzemski gets a base hit. Roger Maris fielding the ball. The lead man is on in the Boston ninth with the third Red Sox hit of the game. And Ken Harrelson is up. Harrelson has struck out twice and reached on a fielder's choice. Ball one. Last of the ninth in the 7th game of the World Series. St. Louis 7 and Boston 2. Ball two. Gibson has struck out 9 men and has walked 3, and Red Schoendienst now is coming to the mound. Gibson is a great competitor. In fact, today he broke his leg. I understand, Curt, that he kept on pitching to a couple of more men before he'd come out of there.
I think he missed 2 or 3 more batters. Schoendienst, of course, would like to see this fellow finish.
2 balls, no strikes to Harrelson. Two and one. Ball, ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shannon after it.
Incidentally, Ken, that base hit by Yastrzemski gives him a .400 batting average for the series. Brock has hit .414. Those two men had quite a series.
Maxville over to Javier, and it's a double play. 6-4-3 double play, and there are 2 men out in the 9th inning for Boston. And George Scott comes to the plate. Scott, in the 5th inning, had a triple and scored on a throwing error as he was coming into third base with the first of Boston's 2 runs. Foul back, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. One and 2 to George Scott. And the Cardinals have won the World Series as Bob Gibson gets his 10th strikeout and they mob him down on the field. A 7-2 victory for the Cardinals. All of his teammates surround him and they're roaring in from the bullpen now to continue their congratulations on a magnificent pitching job turned in by the St. Louis right-hander today.
Ken, he becomes the 3rd pitcher in National League history to win 5 World Series games. That's his 5th complete game in a row. And that was his 10th strikeout twice in this series. He has now struck out 10 in the game. Gibson was the man here today. Jim Lonborg, the loser. And let's go down now to the broadcaster of the St. Louis Cardinals, Harry Carey, in the Winners Clubhouse.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey down in the Cardinals dressing room. You can see for yourself the bedlam that is going on here. Come up here. Tim. Stan. Stop. Give me. Here's the pitching hero of the World Series, Bob Gibson, who scored his 5th straight World Series triumph in all complete games here today. Congratulations on a great performance.
Thank you, Harry. Just great. Really good feeling.
You know, this is old stuff for you. You always pitch the decisive game, it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like. I just hope I can keep winning them.
Were you worried at all on whether you'd have your stuff today before the game started?
No, I wasn't worried. I got 3 days rest, and I knew I would probably get tired in the later innings, but I was hoping we'd be far enough ahead that it wouldn't matter.
You know, I haven't even asked you about your home run.
Yeah, I've been waiting a whole year for that.
A tremendous poke, a great job, and congratulations on a marvelous victory.
Thank you, Harry.
Bob Gibson. The champagne is starting to flow already. Here's the Commissioner of Baseball, William D. Eckert. Commissioner, congratulations on a great World Series.
Great series.
Here's Gussie Busch, the president of the St. Louis Cardinals. Warren Giles, the president of the National League. Warren?
Oh, we had great representation this year. This is a wonderful thing for the National League. The great National League upheld by the great Cardinals.
Thank you. Here's a man who... This is a famous Alberto cheer you hear. And Cepeda's leading it. Here's a man who wishes, I bet you, that he were in the gray flannel again, and as happy, perhaps, as if he were one of these players, the general manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, one of the all-time greats of baseball history, Stan Musial. Stan, come up here with us.
Yes, sir, Harry. It was a very good series, very interesting round. National League, we're glad we won, but I must say that Boston was very impressive. They're a fine club, Harry, very fine.
They did a marvelous job all the way through the year. Stan Musial, Red Shandies. Red, you played on a championship team as a player. Now you have managed one.
Well, it's great, Harry, and I'd just like to congratulate all the boys, and I would like to say that this World Series that I played in, I think the umpires done an outstanding job. The umpires were great. There was one questionable play that I questioned yesterday, but I think all in all, the whole series was played well. The umpiring was good. And of course, I had a big man out there on the mound again today.
Oh, he is some competitor, isn't he?
He's great. And anytime you give him 3 days rest when it means so much, he's got to be hurting pretty bad if he don't do a good job, and he just did that today again.
And this great moment of victory, Red, I know you want to say a word, too, about the very courageous loser. The Boston Red Sox have made a tremendous series out of it.
Well, they've been pretty lucky, I figured, on some of the games. We hit the ball pretty good, but they played great ball, and I knew it would be a good series. I said it would go 6 or 7 ball games, and it did, but we won it.
Red Chaney, Gussie Busch, stay here, Red, because the commissioner has a trophy here to present. This starts now a new presentation to be made to the world champion of baseball each year. Commissioner Eckert, Joe Reichler, come on. Commissioner. Red, your victory over the American League champions completed a wonderful year for the Cardinals and for all of baseball. I want to congratulate you, your players, Mr. Gussie Busch, Stan Musial, and all of the Cardinal organization. In recognition of your outstanding achievement, I want to present the World Championship Trophy, the first of its kind for your permanent possession.
Wonderful.
The presentation of this beautiful trophy is just being made. There you are. All right, now let's get some of the other players up here. Mr. Busch, first of all, how come there's all this champagne here?
Oh, we gotta have a lot of it, and I'm so thrilled I can't see straight.
There you had a chance to get in a plug for your product and didn't do it. All right, let's... Julian Javier, Joe Reichler.
Harry, it's been a great season, hasn't it? Great baseball season.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you very much. Here's one of the stars, Julian Javier.
Hello, Harry.
How do you feel?
I feel great today.
Let me have a swig of that, too. Congratulations.
Thank you, Harry.
Roger Maris. What a tremendous series for you, Roger.
Thank you, Harry. It's been my pleasure.
You know, with all these rumors about you hanging them up at the end of this year, you couldn't possibly do it after having a World Series like this.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Congratulations, a great job.
Thank you.
All right. Where's Lou Brock? Down Maxville. Hey, Orlando, come up here. Orlando Cepeda.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
How do you feel?
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm proud of my teammate. They picked me on serious, and I'm beautiful to be here. Great, great teammate.
Yeah.
Roger, Lou Brock, and Lou Brock tied the series for most hits. And me and my McCarver, we tied for less hits, 3 hits. So we tie records right there.
Orlando, you and McCarver did your job during the regular season. I guess it's just poetic justice that somebody else do it.
Well, that's why we have a great book, Harry. Because all year, we've been counting each other. And in the series, somebody picked me up, and like Roger and Lou Brock. So that we have the best club in baseball because we win the big one, and somebody picks somebody else. So beautiful.
Congratulations. Orlando Cepeda. Dal Maxville. Dal Maxville, who's triple started it all today. Dal, a fine series.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. They're always fine. When you win on this second one I've been on, great. This is great. This ball club's wonderful. And Lonborg champagne just tastes great. Great. It's wonderful.
Dal, were you fellas a little concerned after they tied it up at 3-3? Did you ever think about maybe you might lose today?
No, I never thought we were ever going to lose. They play pretty good ball there yesterday here in the last game of St. Louis, but our club bounced back all year, and they say they have the same type of club. They bounce back, but we're a little better, Harry.
In the 1964 World Series, Dal Maxville was the second baseman on the winning team, and now he's the shortstop.
Well, that's fine, Harry. Let's have some more.
Tim McCarver.
You hear this plug, Harry?
The fine catcher of the St. Louis.
Larry. Budweiser's the king of beers, and we're the king of the baseball world. How about that one?
That was pretty good. How about the series?
Oh, it's great, Harry. Beautiful. Bob Gibson, he's too much. Pitched 3 ball games with only 3 days rest the way he did. He's just fantastic, and so is Lou Brock. They carried us all the way when the rest of the guys were down, and Orlando and myself weren't hitting. Javier had a fantastic series. My roommate came through with some big hits, Del Maxfield, and I'm just proud to be on this club, Harry. It's some kind of club.
How would you compare Gibson's stuff this last game in relation to the other two games he
I think the first game he was throwing better than he was in any of the other two games today or the last. But he goes by just sheer guts. When he gets down, Harry, he just goes all the way. Just sheer guts.
Congratulations,
Thank
Tim.
you, Harry.
Where's Mike Shannon? And where's Lou Brock? Lou Brock. Mike Shannon, the third baseman of the Cardinals.
Thank you, Harry. Hey, it's a real pleasure to be a third baseman of the Cardinals.
A great series, though, Mike, huh?
Yes, it was. Tremendous. It was a hard-fought series, I think. And, of course, these guys have been fighting all year, and we're more or less used to this. And we got real professionals on our ball club, and I think that they showed it today. They came out and they just beat the other ball club and beat them real bad.
Mike, congratulations. Here is the owner, one of the great sportsmen of baseball. You know, this World Series not only matched two wonderful ball clubs, which provided a tremendous series, but it also matched two owners of ball clubs who are the greatest sportsmen in the world. You've heard from Gussie Busch. In a moment here, we want to talk to Tom Yawkey, but this is Nelson Brile. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Harry. I think today we proved that when it really came down to and meant all the chips, that we really came through.
You know, this is the sixth time the Cardinals have won a 7-game World Series. They've won 8 out of the 11 they played in, and 6 of those 8 times it went down to the wire in the 7th game, and each time they won it.
Harry, we've got a great ball club, and we have a lot of ball players that when it really means the chips, they become an extraordinary ball player, and I think that's what we showed today.
Congratulations to you, Nelson Brile. All right, where's Lou Brock? Lou Brock. Joe Harner for a moment. Joe, like Orlando Cepeda, didn't have a great World Series, but without his work during the regular season, the Cardinals wouldn't have been here. Joe, I know how happy you have to be.
I am, Harry. I'm as happy as the world. That's all I ever asked for. I wish I could have done a little better in the series. We won the series. Everybody done a tremendous job all year long. It's just great.
Thank you very much, Joe Harner. Joe Schultz, the third base coach of the St. Louis Cardinals. I know how happy.
Great to be on a winner, Harry.
You told me this morning that there was no doubt in your mind that you'd win.
That's right. Doggone right. And listen, we're tough. Boy, I'll tell you. The Cardinals are a great ball club, and we got a great bunch of fellas.
Congratulations, Coach Joe Schultz. Here is the greatest thief in the world. Lou Brock, who set a new record for stealing bases, who had 12 hits, who hit 400, who did everything, just as did Carl Yastrzemski for the losing Red Sox. Lou, congratulations, a tremendous series.
Thank you, Harry. Hey guys, it's always great to be on a winner, Harry. That's all I can say at the moment.
You know, you finish the season with a hot bat, and it extended through the World Series.
Well, Harry, I have been going pretty good ever since the month of July, and of course it never stopped. And I feel delighted at the fact that I was able to help the ball club in the World Series.
Were you thinking about the record for stolen bases with that last theft?
Well, I was thinking about the record for stolen bases, and matter of fact, the record for the most hit in the series, Harry. And I figured if I couldn't get one, I might as well get the other one. And of course, it didn't give me anything good to hit the last time up, and one of the records okay with me.
Well, you fell only one short of the most hits and set a record for stolen bases. Lou Brock, one of the great heroes of this World Series. All right, here's the pitching coach of the Cardinals, Billy Muffet.
Well, Harry, they said at the start our pitching staff wasn't too good, but I think we kind of turned it around today. Man, am I glad. I tell you, I'm so happy I'm speechless. It's a hell of a year, isn't it?
It certainly has been. And Red's judgment of not pitching Gibson Sunday with the thought of the eventuality of the 7th game is certainly justified.
Well, I tell you, it paid off, and I'm glad it worked out just that way. I'm glad he had, I tell you, he's the best competitor I've ever seen under pressure, barring nobody. He's the best I've ever seen.
Billy Muffet, the pitching coach of the Cardinals. Who else do we have? Rocky Nice gone. Fred Flagg of the National League office. Fred, come up here a minute. Fred Flagg of the National League office. Come here, quickly. We can't. That's just about it. This place is bedlam, as you can see. Harry Carey now in the dressing room of the world champion St. Louis Cardinals, sending you back to Curt Gowdy and Ken Coleman.
Well, the Cardinals are the world's champs, and Ken, they did it without their 3 big hitters coming through. Cepeda hit only 103 in the series, McCarver 125, and Flood 179. But Brock, outstanding. Javier played great in the field, hit 360. Gibson, of course, is the first man since Lou Burdett in 1957 to win 3 World Series games. And Carl Yastrzemski was just as good in the World Series as he's been all year. He wound up hitting .400 and made some outstanding plays in the field. Jim Lonborg with his 2 wins. You've got a situation here. You've got a Cardinal team that's a young veteran team, averaging 28 years old, who will be tough to beat again next year. They have a young pitching staff. The Red Sox should just now be starting a new dynasty in the American League. Most of their players are between 22 and 25. Outside of Howard, Yastrzemski is the old man of the ball club, 28. Of course, New England fans can be very proud of the Red Sox team, and I believe that they have even more to look forward to. Gene Mock, the manager of the Phillies, said, "If I was a manager, I had the chance for the 2 clubs. I wanted to win now, I'd accept the Cardinals. If I wanted to hang around for a few years and win a few, I'd take the Red Sox." I think that about sums it up, and they'll both be in those pennant pictures next year.
Well, I'm sure that will be the case, Curt. I was very impressed in watching this Cardinal club, and certainly want to congratulate them on their great victory, but I must say, as I did say during the game, that being around this team that was a half game out of the 10th spot last year in the American League, and see the job that they have done. Many people, you know, have projected themselves into this picture, and it's been wonderful to hear from people who have had some form of adversity in life, or who have hospitalized or what have you, who have been inspired and thrilled by this Boston ball club. I hope it doesn't sound hokey, but this is the way it's been, and it's just been a tremendous experience to have been around them this year, and I have a feeling it's going to be this way for a long time to come.
Well, baseball had been down. I used to marvel sitting up here with the Red Sox in the 2nd division, how the fans supported their team.
Curt, they're giving Tom Yawkey a hand down in back of the dugout just as he went into the Boston dressing room. I think it's a beautiful tribute to who you and I know as a great, great gentleman.
That's right, and he's going on in now with his boys, and all he can tell them is the way he feels, and I believe the way everybody feels up here. He's proud of them, and they injected a great spark into baseball in New England and across America. The Americans have always gone for the underdog, and they went for the underdog Red Sox this year, but they won't be the underdog next year. And it's a 7-game series, and across America, on behalf of Ken Coleman, Curt Gowdy here, hoping you enjoyed NBC's production. We'll see you next year on Major League Baseball. So the final score, there's the line score with Bob Gibson all the way with the 3-hitter, Lonborg the loser. The Cardinals win the World Championship. Final game by a score of 7-2. This Sunday, NBC telecasts another American Football League doubleheader starting at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. The first half of the doubleheader will be telecast regionally, features games between the Oakland Raiders and Buffalo Bills, the Houston Oilers and New York Jets, and the Miami Dolphins and Boston Patriots. The second half of the doubleheader, I'll join Paul Crispin will be in San Diego for the game between Kansas City and San Diego. That's this Sunday, another AFL doubleheader. Check your local listings for the game and time in your city. This 7th game of the 1967 World Series was brought to you by Winston Filter Cigarettes.